Everyone, back for another review. So when most people think about movies that are based on true stories, they usually think about some type of action going on or something based on an event or something that's very well known. Well, this movie says, hell no, we're gonna give you something you never thought you never thought would be a real story. This is actually a movie based on a real life thing that was actually made into an article for the Wall Street Journal back in 2013. It's in movie theaters, it's a comedy. Let's look at Tag. Tag is about 5 friends. Every year in the month of May they decide that they play a game of tag, and they've been doing it for about 30 years. So this one particular year, one of the characters by the name of Hogan informs one of the other characters by the name of Callahan that this is going to be the last time their friend Jerry is going to be playing. So he and the other 4 he wants them to come up with a plan so they can finally touch him. See, the whole thing is Jerry has never been touched before. He's never been it. So we go through all 4 friends trying to get Jerry before he decides that he's done with the game. This movie is really kind of a sweet movie. Basically the whole thing is that they do this game of tag so that they can stay in each other's lives. And that's kind of a really cool notion. This is an ensemble piece. We have Ed Harris in it, we have Jeremy Renner is in it, we have John Hamm, Jake Johnson, Hannibal Buress. And what happens is when Ed Harris's character tells John Hamm's character that we need to get Jeremy Renner, he is a business person, so he gets informed while he's giving an interview for the Wall Street Journal. So the girl from the Wall Street Journal kind of goes with them to find out what type of insanity is this. It's fun because while she's not really an integral part, the person who plays the journalist, which is Annabelle Wallis as Rebecca Crosby, she's not a huge part of the movie, but what she is the person from the outside who the movie can stop for a second anytime it needs some type of explanation, and they can explain it to her because she's not one of the players. So she becomes more like a device for the audience to get attention, because these guys aren't going to say it to each other because they already know it. And you know, her character becomes really useful in that effect. I think all the actors do pretty well. There can be something to say that, well, they all feel like they're playing themselves. No one really is a huge standout, but everyone's really good in their roles. It's nice to see Jeremy Renner as a comedy person, because most people just know him as Hawkeye. Hannibal Buress kind of is doing a low-key version of his stand-up, if you've ever seen him before, but all of them get really good deliveries. Ed Helms is kind of doing his usual stick. John Hamm is another person who it's nice to see him in comedy roles again. So it's really good. I will say the standout person is Isla Fisher as Ed Harris's wife, because she is really good. She plays the intense wife who, even though she's not part of the game, because one of the rules is in the game, is no girls allowed. You can tell this was made up when they were children. And she has this intensity, so while Ed Helms is trying to tag Jeremy Renner, she's like behind him 100%, or she's even shouting out instructions on what to do, so it makes her really good. She would be a perfect fit for Rachel McAdams' character from Game Night, also earlier this year. This is a hard R movie. There is a fair amount of cursing and language in it. This actually has really good action scenes. Anytime the characters try to tag Jeremy Renner, they usually go through a slow motion where you'll hear people thinking out what they're doing, and it's done really effectively. there's a chase scene very early in the movie where Ed Helms is chasing Jake Johnson, and they do the Quicksilver run thing, where as Jake Johnson is running, they have the camera right in his face, so it's a really tight shot, and it is actually really funny. If I was to say anything bad about the movie, is like it doesn't feel like anyone's really acting. They're all playing their regular selves. Also, there happens to be a love interest plot that shows up about halfway through the movie between two characters, and a love interest that they had when they were kids that really never resolved and didn't really need to be in the movie. I suggest going to this. I didn't expect much from it, even though I did like the trailers. But I left there everyone left kind of laughing really hard at this movie, so I would definitely suggest you go see it. Matinee, if you can. But even at full price, I don't think you would feel cheated. I think you will actually laugh at it. Another warning that I will give, though, there is a joke at the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, which can be problematic for certain people. Like, I have an ex-girlfriend who might find it offensive, and the fact that they repeat it or they go to that well a couple more times at the beginning of the third act can be troublesome for certain people. It didn't bother me when I saw it, but after I thought about it for a little bit, I can see how people would be offended by it if that event happens to them in the way it's joked about here. Favorite line in the movie is easily going to be, I'm not going to say why it happened, but Jeremy Renner is fucking with the other four guys, and there's a line Hannibal Buress says after they figure out what's going on, where he goes, "The masturbation may have been fake, but the pleasure was real." I got a really good kick out of that. It is a hard R-rated movie, so if your kids aren't used to swearing like that, you might not want to take them. That's up to you. I didn't care. We've seen worse stuff than this, and it was fine. I give Tag a 7. Really fun. I even like the moral at the end when we find out the real reason behind everything was going on. Also, if you stay during the credits, they do show the real life group and their home videos of how they used to tag each other. And a lot of it was in the movie, so it is nice to see them, based on a true story, representative of some of the stuff that happened in real life. So I like Tag. Did you see Tag? Let me know in the comments below. Did you agree, disagree? Let me know what you thought about that joke that some people can be offended by. Like, subscribe. I will talk to you with another movie review later on in the week. Bye.